Hello there, everybody. My name is Michael Gray, and today I am playing Ghost Trick Phantom Detective along with Nicholas Uprak.
Hello. Yes, thank you for joining us this time, because if you're actually watching this, then we know you're actually listening for our commentary, because there's no way you got stuck on this chapter.
Yes.
This is, I think Michael said that chapter 12 was the easiest, but this is probably the second easiest. You basically just go places and talk to people.
Yeah, this one you have one ghost trick that you have to perform, so that makes this the second easiest. Makes it a bit harder than chapter 2.
That's still okay, because you find out a decent amount of stuff in this chapter.
If this is the first chapter of the game you're watching, you're just going to be really confused.
So now we find out what Evil Sissel has been doing this entire time.
Yeah, he went to the control room and he basically messed around with stuff in order to make a new body for himself.
I think the hardest part was probably finding that cone that looked somewhat like his head. Like, he had to go through a lot of stuff before he found that one.
Yeah, I think finding the sunglasses is...
Why were there sunglasses aboard a submarine?
Considering the fact that this game takes place at night, why are they constantly wearing sunglasses?
He wears his sunglasses at night.
Finally, he's going to acknowledge Sissel's existence.
Mm-hmm.
You could have saved us a lot of time if you did this earlier, but no.
And so I guess all the other characters get a pass because they actually have no idea who who Sissel actually is.
Mm-hmm.
But Sissel here is going to be intentionally obtuse and not tell you who you are, because he wants you to find out in the last chapter, apparently.
Because he's a jerk.
So he does not get a pass.
Well, he has a little bit of a change of a heart, at this point. I think at this point he stops blaming Lynn for him holding her hostage. Because last time we saw him, it's like, well, it's her fault that I held her hostage.
Yeah.
If she hadn't been in the park, I would have put her over her head.
I like how Sissel had to take a new shape here, but he kept the sunglasses because they were cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised he decided to take a new shape. And again, we have this line, which we've heard like 5 times already. You'll get your memory back really soon. I'm not gonna tell you who you are, though.
So do you think it's too late to try and make Evil Sissel a sympathetic character now, after all this stuff he's done?
I don't know.
Because, I end up kind of feeling a little bad for Evil Sissel, but I'm not sure. After he just used Jowd's daughter to try and kill Jowd with a shotgun.
Yeah, that's a huge turnaround to go in just like 20 minutes. In this 20 minutes, I'm not buying it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's he's more like I don't know what you would call it, evil regret. It's like when the bad guy regrets that he didn't get away with his crime, as opposed to regretting performing the crime.
That's true. Does he really feel bad for what he did, or is he just upset now that they have tricked him and stolen his body?
I'm clearly thinking it's the latter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about this when it comes up. I still don't quite understand why he was so mad. And hey, Missile's here!
Hooray!
Anything, but, I mean, he's here. Oh, whoa, Missile. Ignore what I just said. So yeah,
this is actually a very important point right there, that the powers can change over 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah. Well, I mean, my question would be, does it fluctuate from, every 5 years you switch from one of the 3 powers to the other one?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got to be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's a 4th type of power we know nothing about. Oh, plot point. Write the sequel. write the sequel and not... It's going to be impossible to like the sequel which doesn't give away, like, the huge plot twist at the end of this game.
Uh-huh. I feel bad for Evil Sissel because he always dies in the same unfortunate position.
Always gets hit in the back.
Uh-huh. He's always got, like, his butt sticking up in the air.
Well, because of his gigantic hair, which weighs him down.
No, don't show the missile death scene again.
That's horrible.
I can't take it. How did that guy miss the dog?
He's evil. I think he ran over a missile on purpose.
What a jerk.
But that just leads to the question of how could he run over Sissel, kill him, and then have the body bounce that far? Do physics work like that?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
You never took the physics of running over small dogs in college?
I never took any physics courses ever.
Oh. Well.
And in college I tested out of the calculus, even. Wow, yeah, I had a horrible education. Science rather than taking real science, that was it.
I mean, if you're not using physics every day, then I guess you don't really need it.
Mm-hmm. But you think they would at least, force you to take chemistry or something. Or biology. Yeah, that's all the science I had. Okay, so this is why he can't be hurt. His body is cycling between his life and his death.
You would think if he was really that desperate, he would have tried to remove the fragment himself, because it didn't seem that hard to do so. Like, they just pulled it right out.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you can't just cut his body open with a scalpel and do it, but yeah, I mean, just use a lot of force.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, his hair has not grown an inch. So presumably the villains are going to give themselves these ghost trick powers?
That's what I would guess, or maybe some of their underlings, the ghost trick powers, but, I mean, would you really trust your underlings with those kind of powers?
I think Commander Sith is probably just going to put the fragment inside his body so he can live forever and then do ghost tricks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting here. There's Nino in the background of this. Michael Ridgway pointed that out, and then he called me out on giving humongous spoilers by saying it was Mino. I always thought this was kind of weird, because I went through this this chapter like 3 times or so. Particular section, because Evil Sissel's goal was also to kill everybody who knows about Temsik. So why does he feel like that the bad guys were the ones doing that?
Yeah, he was the one who came up with the evil, like the crazy revenge plot against Jowd and Lynn and Kamila.
Yeah.
Well, I guess their plan is different. That
their plan is really different in that they had an extra target to take care of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And seriously, why is Lynn a target? Because she doesn't know anything about the meteorite. She had to have it explained to her by the crazy guy in the park. And why was she playing in the park all alone? Seriously.
Yeah. That's an excellent question. Well, we'll find out in Chapter 18 what she was doing, and it makes me question her parents.
Yeah. It's clearly nighttime and dangerous. Well, I mean, I guess they're just being cautious at this point. They're saying, well, we might as well kill her just in case she knows something. And it's nice to finally see the scene in color. And he's got a much longer reach than either Sissel or Missile.
He does. does not seem to need any cores close by.
Well, he has 10 years of practice.
His powers group.
And apparently Lynn has a stronger subconscious than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Because she actually made herself miss the first time.
Yeah, she hit his lunchbox.
Ruined his ham sandwich.
Yeah, and then he lands butt first again. Yeah, this is some sort of explanation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But evil Sissel's just hanging around here doing nothing the whole time in the dead body.
I should stop him.
And at this point, good Sissel wakes up.
Mm-hmm. I know they're trying to make the blue guy seem more evil by actually having Lynn killed, but it's not you're not doing a good job just framing her for a crime.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what threw him off. When good Sissel showed up, evil Sissel's like, whoa, there's somebody with ghost trick powers here. This is weird. But you think at that moment he would have talked to the other spirit, because you can talk to other ghosts. We've shown that.
Mm-hmm.
But instead his plan was just go away for a couple of hours and then reappear in chapter 15. Yeah, huh. Oh well.
Yeah, what exactly was he doing during all that time? Because obviously he wasn't keeping very close tabs of his body if they moved it from him.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe he went to the jail to check up on, Detective Jowd or something.
So yes, the evil blue people have thought this out quite well, because now they don't have any cores they can use to get out of this place.
Well, they're in a submarine, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently submarines don't have controls or anything, because obviously you can't, move the submarine.
Well, at this point it might be too filled with water.
You think you could still send a distress signal, call the Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Lynn has pity on evil Sissel.
Mm-hmm.
She understands him because he felt like he was sinking to the bottom of the sea because he was really lonely. But why was he really lonely? Because, Sissel, our hero Sissel, has a ton of friends.
Mm-hmm. Everyone loves him.
He died, and he has a ton of friends, but this guy apparently could not talk to anybody.
Not sure how hard he was trying.
Despite the fact that he can get up and talk to people. You think he would, just go to a graveyard and just start up conversations with all the recent corpses?
Uh-huh.
If he's that desperate for attention.
I mean, look what he can do with, all these random weird parts. This is a great party trick. How does he not have friends?
Okay, so Kamila just reminded Sissel that, oh yeah, Detective Jowd is in another place.
Mm-hmm. Evil Sissel is, far less optimistic than good Sissel. This guy's given up already.
Well, I think he's been given up for, 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He seems to have a lot of pity for himself.
Really? Because, he's sort of a jerk.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, they've still got the bullets in the body. Lynn does her yes. You think she would do that more often? She seems like she's a fantastic detective.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she thinks of this plan right here, which is, really clever. But then there's other times where she doesn't know how to, work a ladder.
Yeah. Yeah, way to go, Lynn. And I have to feel kind of bad that Detective Jowd is our last hope, because he has not proven himself the most competent person ever.
So is this the one trick you have to do?
Yep.
You do have to be kind of quick on this one, otherwise the arm goes limp and you have to do it again.
The grape dispenser. Alright, and we're going through this phone line. So why do we think Detective Jowd can save us?
I don't know why. They know they can't do anything from this end, so I guess they're just trying. Hopefully something else can happen over there. They know that they sent away that room for a reason. Like, why not just leave the room there?
Yeah.
So they think there's something important there that they can use.
I mean, right now they're shooting at the dark, and I think they're eventually going to figure out the plan. Oh, we're not even halfway through this video. Okay, yeah, they're definitely going to figure out the plan. Figure this out before just randomly going to Detective Jowd's room. And we have an additional puzzle here, too. The switch won't budge.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this one. You actually have to do a little something.
Does it really count as lowering the switch when you move it to the right? And we have...
That's a good question.
We need to convince Missile to help out. You think Missile would automatically help out, I mean, with this puzzle?
He's such a helpful doggy. Like,
sure, it's just 4 sentences, but still, you think you would automatically be able to just switch to Missile there.
Yeah, Missile would have been on top of this already. It is kind of impressive that Lynn can, like, program where she needs to send the missile to, so it gets in close proximity of the room that is moving, but doesn't hit it.
Well, not to mention she's in a submarine. Is this submarine moving?
I think it is. I think you've got two. Like, this is like a Calc 4 problem right here.
Yeah. But as I said, I didn't take calculus in college, so I have no idea how I would solve this.
I mean, you better hope that they're both at least falling at a same rate, like there's not any increase or decrease in the speed, because then otherwise...
Well, you think this submarine, by nature of the fact that it's bigger and has more water, you think it would sink faster.
Yeah.
A lot more weight.
And isn't it accelerating?
I guess we'll just have to assume that this submarine is already at the bottom of the sea, because the last time we saw it, it was at the bottom of the sea, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But apparently they just, sent off the other room very far away, maybe to some place where the sea is deeper. Still sinking, while this one isn't. No.
Missile, we need you.
Missile, we can't do anything without you. You're not helping them by staying here, Missile. Seriously. But yeah, the submarine doesn't have a distress beacon or anything.
They got one missile left.
Torpedo. Why did they have 2 torpedoes? Huh. I guess that the first one doesn't work.
There's a backup one. I like how Lynn reached out and touched the, like the switch that Missile is occupying.
Yes. It's like she's holding Missile in her hands and giving him a final goodbye hug. And is Kamila going to contribute to this conversation? Because
I think she does right after this.
Yeah.
Since Missile is so afraid that he won't be able to see his 2 owners again.
Alright, Missile's gonna
There we go.
us.
Hooray!
Lynn knows that, though, because she can't see Ghost World.
Maybe she just assumed that after he yelled Miss Kamila that he did it.
Yeah. And this is the last time we'll see her. Oh no. We never found out who you really were. But that doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
Seriously, it matters a whole lot.
I mean, that still is some like sweet little dialogue, I guess, but still.
Yeah, who is he? Oh, but okay. I guess we'll find out in the next video. Anyway, important stuff here. I'll complain about that in the next video. But seriously. Evil Sissel should just say who he is at this point in time. He's got nothing to lose by revealing Sissel's true identity.
Just help us out.
Then again, not really anything to gain by it either.
I mean, and he is evil, so maybe he's just letting them hang.
Having a pity party. But my evil plan failed, jeez. Yeah, he's like directly responsible for killing like half the characters in this game. I'm not feeling too bad for him. Anyway, 12 seconds pass by, and we get somewhat close to the room. So this is a repeat animation. I'm not sure if you should say that, but Detective Jowd is lying in the exact same position he was in when he died the first time. Now you remember the electric chair where he was like right next to the chair and somehow it magically moves to the middle of the screen to die? Same thing happens here when we go back and see Detective Jowd's death.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Jowd is going to move from the one side of the room to the middle.
You probably should have seen something very interesting when you entered Ghost World there.
Yeah. People watching this video might have noticed something very interesting. But the only thing that Sissel could reach at this point was Detective Jowd. Nothing else was close enough. So you kind of are forced to go through this conversation with Jowd. And guess who followed along for the ride? And didn't say anything.
I don't know what core he occupied, but...
He shared a core with Missile. I don't know.
So now we found out his real name, Yomiel. Yomiel?
Wow, I don't know how to pronounce it either. I went with Sissel, because, you know, yo, guess what? It's Yomiel. I'm wearing my sunglasses. Ghost trick.
I guess we could just stick with Evil Sissel. I do like that name.
Like, they gave us a long time to come up with a name for him. So yeah, Sissel is just a name he made up because he wanted to work undercover while working with bad guys. And now we're gonna ask him some questions, really, okay? I guess there's plenty of time. No time like the present. And conversations in Ghost World don't seem to take as much time as conversations in the real world.
No.
Yeah, but this is interesting. I mean, Sissel said, oh, I want to find out about who I am, and then the first conversation is, no, let's talk about 10 years ago. Let's ignore that important information.
He doesn't really dress like I would imagine a computer programmer to dress.
Yeah, a multi-dimensional computer programmer. So I guess we have confirmed that he is a very, very smart person, I suppose. Contrary to what some of his actions might indicate. Why is there a space between public and the comma? That's a grammatical error.
See, the game actually has a very good, like, editor, I think. Like, I hadn't really noticed any up to that point.
Well, and there's the problem with the quotation marks, but, I mean, you rarely see that. They only have one quotation mark for close quotation and open quotation.
Yeah.
But a lot of games do that. I'm guessing in Japan you only have one quotation mark, unlike in English, because that always seems to happen in Japanese games.
So I guess the important thing we found out in that last conversation is that Yomiel was really innocent of the crimes that Cabanela was accusing him of.
He did not sell the computer information to spies.
He did not. I mean, he still murders a bunch of people and kidnaps a little girl in this one, but
Yeah.
the original crime he was innocent of.
So here's his problem. Nobody noticed his presence. He wasn't able to talk to people because you can't talk to people unless they have cores. Although, I don't know. If he can manipulate a body, you think he would just, be able to use his body to speak.
Yeah, that's true. He could just pick a body.
Or you think after, 2 years, he'd at least get used to not being able to talk to people.
Or, I mean, how many cores did Sissel find in just this one night? He maybe wasn't looking hard enough.
So again, I'm not buying this as an excuse for evil Sissel.
Yeah, we're supposed to maybe feel a little bad for him.
He suffered terrible loneliness because nobody would talk to him or even notice him. But still, I mean, to go from that to saying, hey, I need to kill Detective Jowd's wife and kill everyone else.
In front of his daughter and have her think that she did it.
That's just too much of a leap for me.
It's a little much.
At least now he's starting to realize, maybe that was a messed up idea. Yeah. I mean, here's my question. I mean, he can make a deal. So it's so obviously you could at least talk to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, so he used his body to talk to them over the phone, right? There's the one scene where he's talking to Commander Sith over the phone.
It's clearly he could have communication with some people, which destroys the fact that... Well, we'll put it this way. Say for the first 5 years, his only ghost trick was swapping items.
Okay.
Which wasn't the case, but let's say that's what it was. And so for those 5 years, he was really useless.
He could not talk to anyone. He was lonely.
But for the next 5 years, when his power was manipulating creatures, and, bodies, then he was really useful.
He should have been able to talk to other people.
Actually, I think we're going to find that out in the next video, what his power was for the first 5 years. Because his original power wasn't really manipulating bodies, I don't think.
Yeah, I think he says it in the next video, not this one, though.
Yeah, because powers change over time. Doesn't really matter to our hero Sissel, because he doesn't really have ghost powers for all that long, just one night.
Yeah.
Really? The government read a report by Pigeon Man? Manipulator? Because you think the government would not put those two people in charge of figuring out the Manipulator case.
But it says they didn't believe the report.
I wonder why.
Oh, the guy wearing a pigeon as a hat says this, huh?
So that's why they put the park under total surveillance, just in case this report they didn't believe is correct.
I like how Sissel's like, whoa, the crazy park guy was an agent? And he's like, no, he's just a weirdo. We don't know who he is. You think if they knew that this was actually true, they would have moved the meteorite by this point.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
Just watching it.
Well, that's the whole idea with the housing plan. But you'd think the government wouldn't have to, resort to that because it's the government.
They could just go take it.
National park system, thank you. I mean, if you want to dig something up in the national park, I suppose working through the government is the way to do it. It's not even a national park, it's probably just a local park.
I mean, this is a pretty inefficient government when you think about it, because the giant hole that the meteorite made is still there. Like, they never filled that up.
But they managed to build that whole thing, the memorial to the meteorite.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. So I think this is the third puzzle in the game where you can't actually save the person.
Jowd seems rather relaxed about the fact that the room just got moved out.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Should be on the Harlem Globetrotters. Look at that.
I mean, yeah.
So he's a controlled robot?
Yeah, because that must be a huge remote control.
So, and his primary job is to operate the controls, right?
Yeah.
So there's that operate the controls, because it seems like they could eliminate a step in that process.
Yeah. You have to wonder who's controlling this. I would have gone with this guy's just a cyborg, but no.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, because I didn't remember this exactly, if he was, like, autonomous, like he could think on his own.
No, he's being actively controlled, apparently.
That's a waste of something. There's an extra step in this process they can eliminate.
But they programmed him to think he's remote controlled, so he doesn't get out of line.
There we go. That's the plot for the sequel.
What? The robot goes crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Jowd's body moves. He's clearly falling backwards when he got shot.
I guess maybe he slides when he dies.
Yeah.
His coat is actually buttered.
He's just like the electric slide. Uh-oh, and we're gonna turn the situation around. I seem to have heard that somewhere. So no.
It's that turnabout.
Yeah, well, I think the problem with this puzzle is we can't save Jowd because we can't reach any of the other cores.
Yeah, so that's sort of what I meant, that this whole chapter is one of the easiest ones, that usually all you do is move to the place you can move to next. You don't really have a lot of options here.
You have no options. The only option is to go to Yomiel's corpse.
He's no longer emanating that weird radiation since the core's been, or since the fragment's been removed.
So now he has a core.
Mm-hmm.
And our heroes have finally figured out this is the reason why they were sent to this room. Took them a while to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And they still didn't answer the question of who Sissel is.
No, we're gonna have to wait all the way to chapter 18.
They completely ignored that when they went through this huge conversation.
Because Yomiel knows he's the only one in this game who does.
So we're going back in time 10 years to stop Yomiel's death.
And then hopefully prevent this whole string of stuff that happened this day.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we make it so he doesn't get ghost trick powers, bam, everything's undone.
Jowd's wife is alive.
We never get to meet Missile.
Oh no, wait, let's not do this.
And we never get to meet Lynn. She's just gonna
stop it.
kill.
We do it.
Oh well. No, we have to do something.
You say so.
All I have to do now is remember. Well, he's not going to remember. He's going to be told who he is, but
Yeah, that works.
The final journey to the truth starts now in the next video.
Dun dun dun.
So, thank you for watching, everybody. This was Chapter 11.
Yes. Make sure you watch the final chapter. I think we've got a special guest joining us.
We might have a special guest.